Man, oh man, look what the cat dragged in, man. No pun intended. It's your boy MBG, and he is back on those console war front lines. I mean, he's stuck in the sauce, right? But let's at least hear what he has to say.
They're trying to attain and maintain a little relevancy. Exactly. And I think that's fine. Like I said, my problem isn't with Microsoft. Like, my problem is not with Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, because I understand their end game across all three, dude. Their end game is the same. It's like, we want to dominate in the game space. We want to make the most money.
You know, I find it funny how to start this cope session, you know, this PS5 therapy session, because that's what this is. I find it hilarious how we started off with, oh, you know, they're just trying to remain relevant. But every time that I see one of you PlayStation fanboy channels, the main topic is Xbox. You know, for a console that's dead, you know, that's falling out of good favor with consumers, that's not selling well. I mean, that's all you guys talk about.
I just can't stand how dumb people are for believing the bullshit from Microsoft. I've been right so many times about Microsoft, and nobody wants to talk. I mean, you know, not that I expect people to talk about it, but it's like people just want to pretend. People want to pretend that I was wrong, or just ignore the fact that who was the first one to call, hey, guess what? Anybody who thinks the next Doom is going to be exclusive, probably not. It's going to come to PlayStation.
Oh, so you report begging. And you know, if that was the case, right? Okay, right? You know, you went back into the vault. You made a prediction. You were right. So if you've seen this coming, right? Then why are you so upset? Why is it all this cope?
Because they're going multi-platform. People lost their shit when I said that. Who turned out to be right? Me. Remember last year when Phil Spencer said it's just 4 games, and I screamed at those people, the loudmouths, the dumbasses, and I said, they're going to try to come out here and tell you you're a port beggar or an idiot.
Now hold on, right? In defense of the Xbox guys, let's go back since we want to take a trip down memory lane, which is crazy. I don't understand why we can't just talk about the present. But since we have to go back to the past, because you know these niggas are trying to fish for a W, so they have to go back to the older times, right? In the olden days, right, when these leaks first got announced that PlayStation games were going to be, not said PlayStation, that Xbox games were going to be available on PlayStation, right? There was a whole renaissance, right? All these PlayStation niggas were jumping for joy. And everybody who had been keeping track was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I thought Xbox had no games. In MBG's words, I thought Xbox had trash games. So to see all these guys talking about how they can't wait to get their hands on copies of Xbox games, it was a little bit jarring. It left me a little bit appalled. Because I was like, wow, what really left me flabbergasted was how you niggas bought Sea of Thieves. That's when I knew you niggas was starving. When I saw you niggas snatch up Sea of Thieves, I said, goddamn, thank God that Phil Spencer is doing this. I mean, look at these poor guys. They're buying Sea of Thieves.
Or a fanboy for not believing that. But in reality, they're the idiots. Because anybody with a modicum of fucking sense knows when Phil said it's just 4 games, it's the opposite of just 4 games. And again, my problem isn't with Phil. It isn't with Microsoft. If anything, they were mostly honest. You know, I mean, as honest as they could be while navigating that minefield of a PR nightmare. It's the people that know the truth that try so hard to convince so many others of like, and they try to make you seem like you're the dumb one. And it's like, no, dude. Like, if anything, you're actually the dumb one.
And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like this past few like months, he keeps on going on these rants about people calling him dumb and that they're actually the dumb ones. It seems like you're real insecure about your intelligence, MBG. And I don't think that you're dumb, right? I just think that sometimes you try to sound smarter than what you are. I think you try to be on your Reforged shit, right? So a lot of times you kind of end up kind of pulling for straws, trying to find, you know, a fancy word that you're probably not familiar with using. And I don't know. I don't think you're dumb. I just think you have a very limited vocabulary. I think if you would just use more simple words, you'd be able to get your point across a lot more effectively.
One, because what we're saying came true. Even when it comes to PlayStation related stuff, dude.
Uh-oh.
Like with the PS5 Pro. The amount of, like, listen, man, you are seeing the same motherfuckers who literally shit their pants and piss themselves when the PS5...
No. I'm not going to let you do this. Y'all shit your pants and piss yourself when the PS5 Pro was announced. Before the PS5 Pro was announced, I remember because y'all was taking swipes at PC guys. Y'all were saying this shit was going to go toe-to-toe with the 4090. Do you guys remember how they would sit around and live streams talking about this thing for 3 hours, 4 hours before it was even announced? I mean, they thought it was going to be the next coming of Christ, right? Only for it to be released, right? And everybody said it. All of us, right? All the PC guys said this is a glorified mid-gen refresh. That's what everybody was saying. When the thing releases, you have PlayStation 5 base games that run better than your PlayStation 5 Pro. So all the criticism that product received was warranted. Like, I'm not going to let you do that.
Pro was announced. You know? I mean, throwing the biggest tantrums because it's $700 and it's not worth it. You're seeing those same people out here, I mean, just crying tears of joy over...
Yeah, because they get to play your shit. The same way how you guys were crying tears of joy when you got to play Xbox games, well, now they crying tears of joy because they get to play your shit.
An Asus handheld with an Xbox logo on it, that's probably going to be the same price as the Pro.
Oh, okay, and this Xbox handheld, right? Because they love saying the Asus handheld with an Xbox logo on it, right? They love to act like they just stuck a sticker on there. No, there's a built-in Xbox button. And y'all niggas seen that Xbox button, and y'all have been on a smear campaign ever since. When that Xbox button lit up in the sky, it was like a bat signal for all of you ponies. And you niggas have, just like I said, been on a smear campaign, all right? Calling it everything other than what it is. An Xbox handheld device where motherfuckers is gonna be playing your games.
And these are the people that want to yell the loudest, and they want to make it seem like they have some kind of authority in this space.
And look, don't get me wrong, right? I'm gonna be very honest. I seen the price leaks. I think Xbox is tweaking, right? I think Xbox is tweaking, and I've made it very clear in videos where I've talked about this. If it was me, I would get the Steam Deck OLED, right? If you ask me, Steam, their OS is just mwah, chef's kiss. I don't see how we can get better than that. Maybe if you put Gamepass on there and it's native, maybe, but even then, you know, with the Steam Deck, you can just pirate a lot of these games. So but at the same time, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to act naive. I know what this is. This is war, MBG. This is the console war. I get why these Xbots are jumping for joy over a product that, let's be honest, they could buy a very similar one that could do the exact same thing. They want the Xbox button. They want to have the Xbox button. They want to be able to post pictures playing y'all shit the same way how y'all niggas was doing that shit to them. And from what I can see, y'all niggas ain't ready for it. That's why I say, you guys are the new Xbox guys, but at least the Xbox guys, they took it with dignity. They stood 10 toes, right? They stood 10 toes, but it's just funny. And the niggas who didn't take it 10 toes, they switch. But you know, now that I think about it, it's crazy how shit come full circle. He's one of the Xbox niggas who switched.
They're the ones that you should listen to. And it's like, how idiotic do you need to become until people wake up and realize that's exactly what you are, an idiot?
And you see, this is what I mean by like word salad. He says a whole bunch of nothing. How idiotic do you need to become before people realize that's exactly what you are? An idiot, right? All of that to what? Call somebody stupid because they're saying takes that you don't agree with? Why don't you just say that, right? That's what I mean. He has a very roundabout way of speaking, and it comes off as, you know, a nothing burger, a word salad. He's mastered the art of saying nothing. And just think about that, because when you close your mouth, you say nothing. No, he opens his mouth and he speaks and he says nothing.
And you know what? It's unfortunate because Microsoft is banking on those idiots. They are. Like, Microsoft is banking on those loudmouth, obnoxious people.
Okay, so wait a minute. So they're making bank on them? Because I thought that Game Pass was unsustainable. I thought that Game Pass was a failure, that it would count your days, it's on its way out. Which one is it? So are they banking on these guys? I thought these guys were just renting games, getting by the skin of their teeth.
You know, being the ones that are like, let me tell you. And it's like, what are you going to tell me?
That you can play PlayStation games on the Xbox handheld? And that sooner or later, PlayStation is going to go day and date? It will be full slate?
What are you going to tell me? How great of how Game Pass is such a great deal? Okay. Then go play your games on Game Pass. We're going to go buy our fucking games and enjoy it on PlayStation.
Oh, the song. Okay, then go play on Game Pass. We're going to buy our fucking games. Then do it, bro. Why are you crashing out over Game Pass then? And this is what I mean. Nothing hurts these niggas more than to see these Xbox niggas jumping for joy through the streets, right? Because Xbox, they've been eating on Game Pass. And instead of just saying, okay, it's good for you guys now. All right, we'll see how long that lasts. You niggas are motherfucking seething. Seething.
Whether those be Xbox games, PlayStation games, third-party games, who's saying you're not allowed to enjoy games on Game Pass? No. Nobody's saying you're not allowed to enjoy your games on Game Pass. Nobody's saying it's not a good deal. What we're saying is that it's not taking over the industry.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy them in quiet. You're enjoying them too loud. I don't want to see you enjoying it on Twitter. Enjoy it in private.
And that's going to be a problem for Microsoft. And eventually, that's going to be a problem for you. Because you get all these same people, they're like, why do you care so much about sales? Well, gee, I don't know. That's rich considering, look at what happened to the console you preferred to play on.
Oh, what happened?
Maybe you should have been paying closer attention to sales because look at what happens.
What happened? Did all the Xbox just dissipate? Did Phil Spencer Thanos snap Xboxes into no longer existing? Did I miss something? Are these niggas still on their Xboxes? Like, what is he talking about?
Shit goes right down the toilet. And before you know it, you're out here celebrating a third-party piece of hardware with an Xbox logo.
Just like how you guys celebrate the AMD 5 Pro, right? Get the fuck out of here. The goalpost has successfully been moving now, right? All this bullshit. They're celebrating an Xbox handheld where they get to play PlayStation games, which you haven't even really brought up yet. You've yet to say, oh, they're celebrating that they can play our games. I guess you're sitting on that one.
Slapped on it. Yay. Because I'm sure that's what you were asking for, right?
I mean, look around. Like you said, they're jumping in the streets with joy, right? They're holding it in the air. Ah, Savannah! They're holding that shit up in the air. So, I mean, from what I'm seeing, unless they're coping, right? Unless they're just lying, they're doing a really good job of it. They seem ecstatic about this shit. They seem like they're very excited to be able to play your games. Shit.
I'm sure that's what they were asking for. It's one big joke, man. Like, no, Xbox isn't trash. A portion of their fan base is.
Oh.
No, Xbox itself is not trash. Xbox is done. The Xbox console's finished.
But wait a minute. Why are we talking about Xbox? I thought you didn't have a problem with Xbox. I thought we were talking about the fans, right? But now the console's done, right? Mind you, but they were just banking on the idiots a few minutes ago. So which one is it, right? Are they banking on the idiots? Are they going out of business? Is the system not working? Are they collapsing in on themselves? Which one is it, MBG? It seems like it's just all over the place with you.
What you get next is a PC hybrid.
I mean, all of these consoles are PC hybrids, but with this handheld, if it's like the Steam Deck, which I assume that it is, there's a chance you probably won't even have to pay to be able to access the internet, for one. On top of that, right, you're going to be able to emulate shit probably, right? Because you can emulate on the Steam Deck and whatnot. So you're going to be able to play Nintendo games. You're going to be able to play Xbox games. And last but not least, you're going to be able to play PlayStation games. So it looks like they upgraded.
But a portion of their fan base is genuine trash. And no, I'm not saying if you're subscribed to Game Pass, you're trash. Hell no. I know plenty of people who are subscribed to Game Pass, and they're great people.
Oh yeah. I don't hate Game Pass. I don't have a problem with Game Pass. I have friends who have Game Pass, and they're great people. You know, this is such Karen energy, right? And I'm not saying that he's doing this right, but I have to draw the parallel, because you ever met somebody who's like, black fatigue? I don't hate black people though. I have plenty of black friends. That's what this nigga's doing right now. And like I said, I'm not saying he's racist. Don't try to twist it and say that. I'm just saying it's Karen energy. It's cut from the same cloth. Niggas literally sitting here saying, I don't hate Xbox. I have friends who have a Game Pass, and they're great people. Like that's gonna save you, nigga. I'm gonna tell you right now, that has never worked, right? I have friends that, you know, XYZ, that cop out, that excuse has never worked, MBG, and you should know that.
You know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Names.
Those fans.
Names. Say some names.
Put MBG on timeout. The truth is, I'm not console warring, man. And
there you go, right? You see his own chat. Put MBG in timeout, because 4 days ago, you were just crying about how you're going to start timing people out and dropping the ban hammer, right? But you're not console warring, right?
This is not about the brands. This isn't about the brand. Phil Spencer already told everybody, we're going to do what we need to do for the health of the Xbox brand. Literally nothing they could do would be surprising. This is not about saying, hey, dude, the PlayStation 5 console is better than your shit console. No, that's not what this, or the PS5 is better than Game Pass.
I'm so glad that you said that. Way to say the quiet part out loud. We know it's not about the hardware. We know it's not about the games, right? We know it's not about the shit that actually matters. You're just upset about all the shit that you see on Twitter, right? You're just upset about the niggas in your tweets with the receipts, right? Oh, shit, I just dropped the bar. You mad about the niggas in your tweets who got the receipts, right? But I'm so glad that you said it's not about the hardware. It's not about the games. We know it's not about the games. You niggas don't play games. You guys play Twitter.
That's not what this is. This is about acknowledging the dumbass narratives that persist across the internet perpetually. They're just perpetual. They're in perpetual motion. And it's always the same people, the same groups of people, the same types of people. It's about acknowledging that you're fucking wrong. You've been wrong. You've been wrong 10 times over.
You're wrong.
You're still wrong.
You're still wrong.
But they just think that if they group up enough and they celebrate hard enough, it's just a win. And it's like, sure, man. Sure.
Salting, coping. Hey, man, it's an evil world that we live in. 1 second you're flying high, you know, everything's an Xbox. My PlayStation is an Xbox. Next thing you know, you see the Xbox running through the streets, holding up a handheld, ready to play your games. I know it hurts, MBG. I know it hurts. Just come home. Just come home. I know you got a halfway decent PC. Get Game Pass, brother. Come home, MBG. I think we need to start a movement. Come home. All right? We'll forget all the other shit that you said. Subscribe to Game Pass. I think there's some games on there that you might actually enjoy, MBG.
We'll just pretend you're not the same individual that was out here talking about how the Series X is going to crush the PS5 and eat the PS5 for breakfast. We'll just pretend you're not that same person.
Names?
Sure.
Names? Why don't you come with some names and some receipts, right? The Xbox guys, they got names and receipts. With you, all we have is delusion and conspiracy theories, nigga. I need some names. Who?
It is what it is, man.
Please, I'll go laugh at them. Who?
It's Microsoft moved the goalposts, and a lot of people realize that you only have two options. Either get left behind or move with them. Or move backward with them. I don't know. Move in a
yeah, move backwards. Like I said before, with this miniature PC, with this mini handheld PC, you're going to be able to emulate. You're going to be able to play more games than ever. You're going to be able to pirate games if you want to. You can do more, but somehow you're moving backwards. I mean, the cope.
Lateral direction with them. That's all it is. You know, that's all it is. And it's just, it just persists. Like I said, man, it just persists. PSP2 Revita. Revita, bro. Revita. You do think the PS5 is better than the Xbox at this point? Or better than Xbox at this point? I mean, I agree. That's kind of catchy, dude. The PSP2 Revita. I mean, it's a marketing nightmare, but I'm on board with it. Just remember, guys. Listen, just remember. The people that I'm talking about, these were the same ones that in 2021 were out here like, come on, Microsoft, make sure those Bethesda games are exclusive. Do it. Do it. Those are the same people. They want it so badly. The Elder Scrolls is going to be exclusive.
Nigga has to pull up Salt from 2021. MBG, let it go. It's in the past. The shit you're talking about almost happened damn near half a decade ago. MBG, what are they saying this week?
I remember when Blade was revealed. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's coming to PS5. And I got fucking trampled, bro.
Because you're port begging, nigga. Literally, port begging. This will be the main nigga saying that Xbox games are trash. But whenever a new Xbox game is announced, you're trying to find out how you can get a PlayStation copy.
I got called everything. Meanwhile, the people who were doing the trampling, they're out here holding up this handheld being like, look at it. Xbox wins. Xbox wins, bro. It's like, okay, man. Sure. I can't wait to play PlayStation games on this.
He finally said it. Yes. The same way how you guys couldn't wait to play Xbox games. Yes.
Meanwhile, we're over here being like, we told you. We told you they're fucking good, right? Right?
We told you they're good.
Well, you guys are playing Xbox games now, so you must.
And you see the cope, and this just shows we can already dissect this and shoot the hole through this. So which one is it? I thought you just said that they were running through the streets celebrating, holding the handheld high. Now you got them coping. You're doing the crying voice. Now you're trying to do what I'm doing. What? No. See, this is what I mean. No Xbox guy is salty right now. Those niggas are jumping for joy. You're being dishonest. I'm going to have to push X to doubt, MBG.
Must have always liked them. Like, dude, I don't think anybody here was over here. I don't think many PlayStation players were like, yo, that Forza Horizon looks like straight trash. No, I don't think anybody was doing that. In fact, I was here watching it. Most people were like, Forza's a good game.
Dude, bro was going around saying that Xbox games are trash, nigga.
Microsoft has. But that Halo Infinite, it's looking rough. Gears, feels like it kind of lost its way. It's just like, I don't know, man. This is what's out there. It's out there. It's on full display. But you know what the truth is, man? And this is going to be the greatest day. Do you remember when I told you guys back in November of 2023, I said, I'm pretty sure Microsoft just announced they're going third party and they're going multi-platform. Remember when I said that? And you guys were here and you saw how much bullshit I had to deal with for saying that.
Yeah, because we're still waiting for you to announce that Sony's went third party.
Do you remember how I told people back in 2020 when the PS5 and the Series X launched, I said, Microsoft is going to get crushed because they have no launch games. And I don't know why they think they can launch a console with no launch games. Do you remember?
Mind you, now we're going down memory lane, right? Get the hot tub time machine ready, right? Because now we're going back in time, right? Now we're going back in time. I don't know why we have to go back in time, but it's crazy because I thought that you didn't have a problem with Xbox. I thought it was just the toxic fanboys, you know, the toxic fan base. What is this?
Remember when? Do you remember when I told you guys that Microsoft is probably going to, when it comes to the next gen console, take a very different approach? That's not going to be, they're not going to take a traditional approach.
Okay, and when has Xbox ever took the traditional approach to anything? Like, bro. And other news, water's wet. I mean, congratulations. You saw the writing on the wall. Everybody's seen the writing on the wall. And the funny thing is the Xbox guys seen the writing on the wall as well. And they're okay with it. They're fine with it. I'm so tired of these niggas trying to change this shit, trying to make it seem like the Xbox niggas are just in disarray. The only niggas that were in disarray have switched. A la niggas like you.
Do you remember when I told you guys that it's unlikely Game Pass is going to make the money that Microsoft needs it to make to justify?
Oh, well, wait a minute. I thought they were banking. Oh. Wait, what are we doing? I thought that they were banking, and here we go. It's come full circle. Here you go, out of both sides of his mouth. So 1 second they're banking off the idiots. I can't believe you guys are so stupid believing Microsoft. They're banking off you idiots. Now it's, oh, they're not making enough money. You guys are just freeloading, not buying games.
Acquisitions like Activision and Bethesda. Do you remember when I told you guys when Satya Nadella said, if this is about competition, then let us compete? And I said, he's a lying sack of shit.
He doesn't have a problem with Xbox, though.
Take all of that, roll it up, look at where we are today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make another prediction.
I'll do one better. I'll make another prediction. Full slate will be playable. Full slate will be on the Xbox handheld, and PlayStation will go day and date. How about that?
Ready? Here it is. My next prediction is, I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later.
Oh, so he does. Word salad. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen sooner than later. I mean, well, damn. Well, let me just mark that down. And you wonder why you don't get credit for these predictions. What type of fucking prediction is that? Could you imagine somebody telling you, somebody has something to warn you of? And they started off with, I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen sooner than later. What?
I think the people who are out here evangelizing Game Pass the most, not people, not like average consumers, okay? I'm not talking about the average consumer that just stumbles upon Game Pass and is like, oh, that seems cool. I'll subscribe to it, play some games. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who are involved in these conversations and they just will not get off the high horse.
Oh, because Lord forbid an X-bot enters the chat and he starts singing praises about Game Pass. Lord forbid, because nothing hurts these ponies more than to see Xbox guys enjoying Game Pass. Go on.
Right, where they really believe that Game Pass is the be-all, end-all. And basically, because they subscribe to Game Pass, no criticism is valid. You pay, we play, all that bullshit. Those people are going to get fucked the hardest by Microsoft at the end of the day.
How?
Not tomorrow, probably not this year, but eventually the reality is going to, just like when you see how Microsoft said, fuck you, we are selling a Series X for $730. They say, fuck you, we are charging $80 for our games, even though they're definitely not worth $80, at least.
Now, one thing I will say, I do think that $80 for games, that's bullshit. I don't agree with that. This is part of the reason why I pirate most of my shit. But the raising in consoles, I don't agree with that either. I think that was an odd strategy, especially when your consoles aren't selling well. But at the same time, in the context that you're speaking on it, how does them raising the price of the console, how does that affect users who already have the console? Because you're talking about the fanboys that are on their high horse. How does them raising the price, how does that affect them? They already have a console, right? Or are they going to buy two? I mean, what are you talking about, dude? Literally. Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely think it's an L for Xbox, but I don't think it's an L for the consumers, right? It seems like you have a problem with Xbox, which is odd because you said you didn't have a problem with them. You said it was the toxic fan base.
Some of them are certainly not worth $80. They don't give a shit. The day is going to come when they don't hit their numbers on Game Pass.
But I thought they were banking off the idiots. The dude is all over himself. I'm telling you, all over the place.
And when that happens, what do you think comes next? What comes next is Microsoft has no choice but to reveal the just unfathomable truth to these individuals. That is, you know what, guys? We appreciate how much enthusiasm you have, but we need money from you two.
From you too.
We can't.
So he acknowledges that they're getting money from the PlayStation niggas. So he's seen the top sellers. He knows that them niggas are paying hand over fist. Look, we don't know. We'll have to see the sales reports. And more importantly, as somebody who enjoys Game Pass, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a fuck. As a consumer, it's not my responsibility to give a fuck. If I go down the street to a tire store and they're saying, hey, we got a deal. You buy one tire, you get one free. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. I'm going to take the goddamn deal. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, what's your profit in this? How are you guys going to be compensated for this? How are you guys going to stay in business? That's not my fucking problem. The average consumer, when they see a deal, they take advantage of it and they leave it there, right? When niggas use coupons, they're like, well, how can they give out these coupons? Nobody thinks that way. Only people who have a certain agenda, a pony agenda, would think this way.
Really, we can't just keep letting you. We can't just keep letting you exist in this subscription service.
So now they're just existing, right? So which one is it? Because before, when they were jumping through the streets, you were saying, "Oh, Microsoft's banking off these idiots." Now they're just freeloaders, right? Now they're just squatting in Game Pass, right? Not paying nothing, freeloading. You know what I mean? Smoking doobies on the couch, feet up and shit. I know I'm sitting back hitting that pack on the couch. I know I am. I'm also hitting that salt, son.
Getting these games and justify the price that we're charging. We need to charge more.
Oh.
And that's not just going to happen once or twice. That's going to be a continual thing. And I guess what I'm trying to say is the talking point, it's not even a talking point. If it was a talking point, that'd be fine. They're not talking about it. The thing that people are wearing as like a badge of honor and using as like the greatest ammunition, where you're an idiot if you pay $80 for a game because I pay $20 a month to rent this game. And
and I love the cope about renting games. You know, maybe I'm just getting older now, right? I still see myself as a young guy. Maybe I'm just getting older now. But I remember back when we could rent games at Blockbuster, right? I remember having to put my name on a list to wait to rent the game, right? Because people done rented it before me and shit. You rent the game. You beat the game, you get the achievement, right? Your console's gonna save the progress and shit. And I'm gonna be honest, maybe it's just me. When I beat a game, I uninstall that shit. I'm on to the next. Like, what are we talking about? It's so odd to me. You know, renting games. You don't own games. You don't own them. Very few games, especially nowadays, are there games with replayability. Once I play it and I beat it, I'm on to the next
game. It's like, hold on to that for as long as you can, because you're, frankly, an idiot if you think Microsoft isn't going to be coming for you next.
They're coming for you next. Listen, I don't care about that shit. What Drake say? I just need to know what that game was like. So one time was fine with me. Hold on. I just wanted to see what it was hitting for. One time was fine with me. I didn't need to wipe it. I just need to see what it was busting for. Niggas played through it. Bye, bitch. And get out the door, ho. I mean, what are we talking about?
Unless, and this is where I could turn out to be totally wrong, and we'll see. I haven't been wrong yet in this regard, but we're going to see. Unless somehow, some way, Microsoft just suddenly gains tens of millions of Game Pass subscribers. If they don't do that in like a short period of time, because their window's closing, if they don't do that, then the only thing they're going to be able to do is, well, we got to make more money off the subscribers we have there. And that's my next prediction is like, if I genuinely believed Game Pass was succeeding in the way that people talk about it, like this is going to be, this is going to be what takes over. It gets 70, 80, 90, 100 million subs, and it paves the way. If I really believed that, I genuinely would not be making this prediction. But I don't believe that because I never believed it, because look at what's happening. I told you guys before, Microsoft is punching air because Sony is out here.
Microsoft is punching air, you guys. They're punching air because you guys are paying games, are paying full price for games. Okay.
Is getting more full price sales on their PlayStation 5 console. Like, you have to buy the console, then you have to buy the games at full price. They're getting more than what...
And Xbox is like, shit, your PlayStation is an Xbox? That'll be $80. I mean, what?
Microsoft is trying to give you these games. It started with $1 a month, then it went to $10 a month, now it's at $20 a month. Why do you think that is? They make these investments, they shove these games, and they say, guys, don't you look, we got Black Ops 6 in Game Pass. Don't you want Game Pass now? We got the Elder Scrolls Remastered. We got Avowed. We got it all. Microsoft, how many subscribers do you have?
Wait, hey, why are you talking to Microsoft? What did Microsoft do? I thought Microsoft was good. I thought it was just a toxic fan base. MBG.
How many like, honestly, do you have 50 million yet?
Oh, nigga, pocket watching. Do you have 50 million yet?
Or is it true that you're still at 35 million? Because if you're still at 35 million,
the fact that he knows off the top of his head, I'm telling you, MBG, you're a fan. Nigga, come home. What are you doing? I know it's cold out there. Come home. Come home, nigga. We got a place for you, son. You're pocket watching. Come home.
You better believe that they're not just going to sit there and continue to charge $20 a month for Game Pass. Because it doesn't matter how much a person wants to evangelize the Game Pass model and talk about how much better it is and how pro-consumer and how good of a deal it is. That's great. Again, I have no problem with that. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But if you are naive enough to think that that's sustainable without the growth to match it, you're the one that's going to get screwed the hardest. Because at the end of the day, people who bought their games, at the very least, they don't have to worry about the price of those games going up. Once you buy it, it's there in your library, especially if you buy it physically. But even if you buy it digitally, it's there. If you are interacting with your games and engaging with your games on a month-to-month basis.
And here's the thing, though. And like I said, again, renting games, the only time I can see a consumer being harmed by this is if you play a game, you beat it, and then the game, and then they release a DLC. The best example of this is Liza P. But as I stated before, it was a good game. I felt like they had earned my money, so I bought it. Really, if I wanted to, and the Xbox guys will be able to do this too with the handheld. I could have pirated it, and I could have transferred over my save files if I wanted to, right? But I genuinely wanted to buy it because I enjoyed the game. So, like I said, cope. That's okay. I didn't have to pay for it back then. So I'll just pay the little 30. And the funny thing is the game was on sale. So I didn't have to pay full price. Do game prices go up as time goes on, or do game prices go down? What the fuck are you talking about? The older a game gets, most people, if they don't want to buy the game, they'll wait until it goes on sale. As time goes on, the sale goes down. So if the Xbox guys are coming in and playing the game when it first comes out, when it's most expensive, right? With no sales or anything, and then A month goes by, a year goes by, it's no longer on Game Pass, a DLC comes out, oh, you need the base game to play it, they'll probably be able to get it on sale. And if they're in the PC space, they'll be able to go to CD Keys, right? And trust me, I don't buy games directly through Steam or whatever. I go to CD Keys and then I go through the, and then I activate the game on Steam. CD Keys is a godsend, literally. I mean, this just shows they know nothing what they're talking about.
And you can only continue to do so as long as you're subscribed. You're going to have basically no choice, or it's going to be hard to walk away from it. If the day ever comes where Microsoft's like, now it's $30 a month. Now it's $40 a month. And that's the way you've been playing games for years. You don't own shit, dude. The moment you unsub, you lose it all. It's gone.
One second.
So, yeah, really quick. No, I didn't get an email from Microsoft saying they're not sending me any more review codes. I'm just, dude, I'm not taking their review codes anymore. I'm not taking any review codes. I told people I was experimenting, man. I tried. I wanted to see what the other side was like. I'm not talking about Xbox. I just mean like engaging with games on that level where it's like I'm going to be a reviewer now. I always suspected I would hate it, and I was right. I just it's not for me, man. I need to play games at my own pace.
Yeah, because then you actually have to play the game, right? And he's not playing games. He's on Twitter, but shit, man. It's been your boy Sigs and Cereal. As you can see, the cope continues. Niggas are throwing their hats right back into the console war. I mean, they're addicted to it. They just can't let it go. Until next time, it's been your boy. Peace.